the NHS Pension Scheme, it has been described as one of the most generous pension schemes in the UK. So here's a question. Why are tens of thousands of NHS professionals choosing to leave it every single year? Doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, dentists, allied health professionals. In fact, according to September 2025 data from the NHS Business Services Authority, over 221,000 NHS staff are currently opted out of the NHS Pension Scheme. That's around 13% of eligible staff. And in September 2025 alone, around 7,000 NHS staff submitted opt-out forms. Now, here's the part most headlines miss. From my experience of providing financial education to thousands of doctors and healthcare professionals, many of those opting out are doing so without fully understanding what they're giving up. And that decision could quietly cost tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds over your entire career. So, if you've ever wondered, is the NHS pension scheme really worth it anymore? Should I opt out to improve my take-home pay? Or could I do better on my own with a personal pension or my own investments? Then this video could help you avoid a very expensive mistake. Now, for those of you who are new here, I'm Dr. I'm a former salaried NHS GP, investor for over 21 years, and the founder of the MONEYWISE Doctor. I left my salaried NHS GP role 3 years ago after achieving financial freedom, and I've since then helped thousands of NHS staff, professionals, make smarter financial decisions through my masterclasses, webinars, and also one-on-one work. I'm also the author of The MONEYWISE Doctor. It's an Amazon bestseller in retirement planning, investing, and personal finance. Now, just to be clear, this is not financial advice. It's education based on experience and the financial realities NHS professionals face today. Now, back to the NHS pension. From speaking to over 1,500 NHS professionals in my sessions, one thing is clear. Most people don't opt out because the NHS pension is bad. They opt out because the take-home pay feels squeezed. The scheme feels complex. They don't understand how valuable it actually is. Or they assume they could do better themselves. And that assumption is where problems begin if you don't know what you're doing. So let's slow this down and look at the NHS pension properly. What the NHS pension actually is. The NHS pension is a defined benefit pension. That means it's not based on investment returns, it's not affected by stock market crashes, and it doesn't depend on how well your investment fund performs. Instead, it promises you a guaranteed inflation-linked income for life based on your pensionable pay and how long you've been a member of the scheme. Now, most NHS staff today are in the 2015 care scheme, where you build up pension benefits every single year you work. Now, the other thing to look at is the real benefits. So why is this so powerful, the NHS pension scheme? 1, guaranteed income for life. This is the big one. If you retire at your scheme retirement age and live for 20 years, 30 years, or even longer, your pension keeps paying. That longevity protection is incredibly expensive to replicate privately. 2, employer contributions. Often underestimated, when you're in the NHS pension, you are effectively receiving a significant employer contribution that you do not get as cash if you opt out. It could be up to 23.7%. Opting out is basically taking a pay cut. You can't invest confidently if you are one emergency away from financial disaster. You need to build your financial foundations first. I've read over 250 books on personal finance and business. Not one of them explains specific issues that affect medics like NHS pensions, financial anxiety, investing, student loans, and much more. Hi, I'm Dr. I'm the founder of MONEYWISEDoctor.com. For over 21 years, I've been investing and studying personal finance. In fact, 3 years ago, I left my salaried NHS GP job after achieving financial independence. Since then, over 1,200 medics have joined our tax-efficient investing masterclasses that are totally free. And much more than that, 10,000 doctors and healthcare professionals have used my content to make smarter financial decisions and avoid costly mistakes. That's why I wrote the MONEYWISE Doctor. The MONEYWISE Doctor is a step-by-step guide, it's a book to simplify the path from confusion to clarity for medics and to help you make smarter financial decisions and avoid costly mistakes that can affect your future. We've already helped thousands of doctors learn how to save smarter, invest tax efficiently, and finally feel in control, in charge of their financial future. Now, if you're ready to gain clarity, confidence, and control with your money,
the MONEYWISE Doctor Book is now available. Click on the link below to order your copy now and start your journey to financial freedom.
Number 3, inflation protection. Your pension is revalued with inflation while you work and uplifted with inflation when you retire. This protects your purchasing power. This is something many private pensions fail to do. Number 4, there's no investment risk. Markets rise, markets fall. The NHS pension does not care. Your income is backed by the government, not the stock market. That stability matters, especially later in life. Number 5, ill health and death in service benefits. I mean, if you become unable to work due to illness or if the worst happens, enhanced ill health retirement may apply. So your dependents may receive a lump sum as well in death, and eligible partners and children may receive ongoing benefits from the scheme. Now, these protections are often far more generous than people realize. 6, tax efficiency. Obviously, contributions reduce your taxable income. For higher rate taxpayers, that's extremely powerful. And for many NHS professionals, if you've been caught in the 60% tax trap, pension contributions are one of the few legitimate ways to actually reduce it. If you're unsure of whether you've fallen into the 60% tax trap, or you wonder how to escape it, if you check in the links in the description, you can get my completely free step-by-step guide on how to avoid the 60% tax trap. Now, let's look at the real downsides of the NHS pension. Let's be honest, it's not perfect. Number 1, lower take-home pay. Now, yes, contributions reduce the net pay. That's real, and it hurts more during this cost of living pressure. But short-term pain doesn't equal long-term loss. If you want to check how contributing more to your pension affects your take-home pay, you could visit nhsSalaryCalculator.com to use it for free to check. Number 2 is lack of control. You don't choose what happens to your money in the NHS pension. Some people dislike that. You may like to have a say in how your pension is managed. Number 3, rule changes over time. So retirement ages have increased. Rules can just change. The NHS pension age is increasing for many members, with the normal minimum pension age rising from 55 to 57 from April 6, 2028, especially for those who joined the scheme on or after November 4, 2021, or didn't have protection. The change means you generally can't access most NHS pension benefits before age 57, although those with protected rights, like those with the older 1995 scheme, with specific protections, can keep their earlier age. Now, for 2015 scheme, normal pension age in the 2015 scheme is tied to your state pension age, or 65, whichever is later, meaning it's kind of like rises as state pension age rises. That uncertainty puts some people off, understandably. 4, the complexity. The NHS pension scheme is not intuitive, and complexity often leads people to disengage due to confusion or opt out too quickly. For instance, working out how much of your annual pension allowance you have used is not a straightforward subtraction from what you have contributed. Pension growth, also known as pension input amount, is what is used to determine how much allowance you've used, and many people struggle with that calculation, so they don't know how much else they can put in. Now, why is opting out really a simple win? Here's what I've seen repeatedly. People opt out to do 2 things: to increase take-home pay, but then they forget to replace the pension or invest consistently, or they underestimate the cost of recreating a guaranteed income. Now, very few people who opt out actually replace the NHS pension properly, and that's where the long-term damage happens. NHS pension versus personal pension. Just a quick comparison. Now, a personal pension or SIP offers flexibility, it offers growth potential, but it carries market risk. and requires discipline. The NHS pension offers certainty, stability, and longevity protection. For many NHS professionals, the smartest approach is not either or, but understanding how they fit together. So here are my final thoughts on this. The NHS pension is not perfect, we know that, but it's still one of the strongest foundations available to NHS professionals. So opting out should not be a careless decision you make without carefully weighing the options, pro and cons, and seeking professional advice. Opting out of the NHS pension should not be a reaction to pressure or confusion. And it should never be done without understanding the full trade-off and the full consequences. Hey, if you're feeling unsure about whether the NHS pension is right for you, how it compares to personal pension like or SIP, or how it all fits together into your long-term plan for financial freedom or retirement, then these are exactly the questions I explore in Chapter 8 of my book, The MONEYWISE Doctor, which has become an Amazon bestseller on retirement planning, investing, and personal finance. Hey, if you'd like to go deeper, you can find it on Amazon by searching for The MONEYWISE Doctor, or use the link in the description to access the book and also get some of my free resources. If you like more clear, practical content like this for NHS professionals, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, are you in the NHS pension? Do you plan to opt out? It will be interesting to hear your thoughts around this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
The MONEYWISE Doctor Book is now available. Click on the link below to order your copy now and start your journey to financial freedom.